Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another goal making video. In this video, we're going to be covering tailoring in part 3 of my mini Shadowlands profession series. If you have not seen the previous two videos, they went over leatherworking as well as alchemy, and what this mini series is that I basically go over my total profit and spending for a certain profession for the past 30 days. So the baseline for this is that we only use and sell items which you just learn by strictly leveling up the profession, so nothing fancy, no rep, etc. However, sometimes there might be additional items which I mention, but of course profit will be kept separate and that will be transparent, but generally we're just covering the basic profession, and like I said before, we have covered alchemy as well as leatherworking. The full playlist will be in the description down below, but without further ado, we are going to get right into it. But of course, if you are new here, or this might be a second or third time you've seen my video, if you can check and see if you're subscribed, if you like my videos, that will help out a lot, and we're going to go into the profit right away. So, Shadowlands tailoring is one of my favorite professions. It is one of the two professions that I have on my main character, which is actually the character that I have on screen right now. So I guess I am a little biased by saying that it's my favorite, but there has been a lot of profit to be made. Now, what we're going to be going over is tailoring itself does not have a ton of items, especially in the basic version of, the profession itself. But we're going to be going over basic novice gear, crafter's marks gear, bags, and then I'm going to be going over a few other items as well as legendaries just to show you guys the potential profit. But of course, not all of it will be calculated to the total profit at the end. But the first thing we're going to be talking about is the novice gear, which we have the green items. So the green items is the shrouded cloth items, and this is novice gear, so this is eye level 87. And in the past 30 days, I have sold 109 items for about 56,000 gold. Now, depending on the item, the crafting cost can vary. Some of it is in the 20s, 25s, and then on the high end, it's in like the 42s per item. So on average, rounding up, the crafting cost is about 40 gold per. So selling 109 items at 40 gold each, that brings in a total of 51,000 gold profit. Now, just right there, those profit margins are huge. Taking a total sale value of 55,000 or 56,000 and turning that into 51,000 profit is super awesome. And of course, this is data from my medium pop server. So depending on your region, depending on your server size, and just your server in general, you will see different profit margins, different price ranges. But generally, this stuff sells pretty good, and I might not have as many sales as I want, but the fact that they sell for so much definitely makes up for that. Now, the next items we have are the blue items, which is the Shadow Lace gear, and I will say I do have the Korthia Crafter's Marks. So I have the Novice gear, which is the basic one, like we went over with the green items, and then I also have the eye level 200 and the eye level 230 gear. Those are both the Crafter's Marks 3 and the Crafter's Marks of the Chained Isle. Now, because the ledger does not distinguish against those, it's very hard to tell which is which. Of course, the very expensive ones are the more expensive to craft ones, like the Chained Isle, but, making sure you can find that total profit is a bit different, so those are included in this, but I've adjusted the crafting cost just to make sure that it's true profit. So out of all of those items, I sold 89 of these Shadow Lace pieces for a total of 268,000 gold, which is super awesome. Now, the crafting cost, if it is a novice piece of gear, the crafting cost is about in the 300s to 500s, and then if it's a Chained Isle piece or a Crafter's Marks 3, it can be in the 3,000s. So the crafting cost can vary a ton depending on the mark that you're using, but because the majority of these items were on the low end, they were in the novice end, I made the average crafting cost about 1,800 gold. So True crafting cost is anywhere between 300 to 3,000 using my server prices, so we're using an average of about 1,800 gold to calculate this profit. So after calculating that, we have a total of 107,000 gold profit from these 89 items. So once again, the profit margins are huge. This is about a little less than around a 50% margin. We're turning about 268,000 into 107,000. So that's still super good. Not as great in terms of margins as the green items, but in terms of profit, it is definitely up there. Now, that's really it for the novice gear. There's nothing really special with them, but in total, with just novice gear, that's about 158,000 gold profit in the last 30 days strictly from these novice gear and these other crafters marks. Moving on, we have bags, which there are 2 bags in the game from Shadowlands, which is the shrouded cloth bags, and then there is the lightless silk pouches. Now, actually, in the past 30 days, the lightless silk pouches have been pretty unprofitable. The reason for that is the lightless silk has been increasing in price lately for the past few months, and I still have a very nice stockpile from before 9.1. So because of that, technically, I could craft these bags for profit if I wanted, even though TSM is saying that they're unprofitable. But because I do sell legendaries and the other crafters marks gear, which requires a lot of lightless silk, it's just best for me to save the silk for those items instead of trying to make a little bit profit with the pouches. So I have actually sold 0 pouches in the past 30 days, so I do not have any data for those. Now, shrouded cloth bags have been surprisingly pretty good. Like I said before, I do have a stockpile of cloth, but cloth every once in a while, somebody will dump a few for, 1 gold even, or, 1 gold, 15 silver, something like that, and I'll scoop it up as fast as I can. But in the past 30 days, we've sold 395 bags for a total of about 64,000 gold. And the average crafting cost is about 110 gold, and I sell these bags for about 160 gold. So out of those almost 400 bags sold, I have made a 20,000 gold profit. So just from making bags, they're super simple. They sell very, very fast. Not a lot of effort at all. 20,000 gold is definitely awesome. Of course, we're a little bit spoiled with that novice gear prices, like I said earlier, but 20,000 gold for bags is awesome. Now, that right there is basically it for the basic tailoring stuff. Now, there's a few random items, there's some cosmetic stuff, there's a few random small items that you can sell as well, but in terms of the big money makers, from just strictly leveling tailoring from 1 to 100, novice gear, bags are really the best sellers. Now, like I said previously, I do want to talk about legendaries because some people are still interested in legendaries, and I just want to show how much gold I am currently making in the past month because I get the question a lot if legendaries are worth it. And of course, like always, that is very server dependent, but I can at least share my personal data. So the first item I do want to talk about is deep sea bags. Now, if you guys watch my channel a lot or have seen my Forgotten Item series, I love deep sea bags. I do a shuffle with Tide Spray Linen because I have about 300,000 Tide Spray Linen laying around. Basically, I shuffle for deep sea and then I craft bags and I sell them. And sometimes deep sea satin is just sitting on the auction house for very cheap, so I purchase it up. And so recently I've just been kind of selling the leftover stock that I have, and because I just haven't been doing any recent shuffling, but I did have some materials from the past. So I have sold 45 deep sea bags for a total of about 8,400 gold. My average crafting cost is around 90 gold or so I've made about 4,000 gold profit with these bags. So nothing insane, definitely compared to what I was talking about previously, but just because I had the materials laying around and eventually I'll get back to shuffling and crafting more of these, deep sea bags sell very, very good. So if you can get your hands on some cheap materials, I highly recommend adding it to your tailoring restock. And lastly, we do have legendaries, which has by far made the most profit. And in the past 30 days, I have sold about 57 tailoring legendaries. So surprisingly, that is not that much. That's about almost 2 per day. Honestly, that's probably just because in the past week and a half with 9.1.5 releasing, prices have been very unstable. A lot of people, I don't know if they're trying to quickly get out of the market or they're trying to, shoo everybody else from the market, but prices have definitely crashed on my server within the past week and a half. So I definitely have not gotten that many sales because I haven't been restocking, just because they're not very profitable right now. However, in the past 2 days, kind of ever since Saturday, which I'm recording this on a Monday night, sales have been going back up in terms of prices. So, I believe today I've sold 3 or 4 pieces from tailoring and prep for Tuesday, or the day you're seeing this video, and so on. So because of that, legendaries have been doing pretty alright. I suspect that prices will recover, and I'll be going back to some pretty good profit very, very soon. But like I said, I've sold 57 of these items, and I've sold them for a total of about 1.9 million gold. So rounded, it's about 2 million gold in sales. Now, in terms of crafting cost, it does depend on the rank, and for rank 4s, it kind of costs anywhere between 6,000 to 10,000 gold, depending on the day, depending on the prices. And then for rank 6s, it's about 15,000 to 23,000 gold in order to craft a rank 6. So on average, I just went with a crafting cost of about 15,000 gold. So 57 items with about 15,000 gold crafting cost each. I have made 1.1 million gold in the past month just on these legendaries. So this is strictly just tailoring. Most of this is rank 4s and 6s only. 1.1 million gold, which is awesome. Now, I will say on my server, I do have the benefit of having very high margins. Like I said previously, I can craft these rank 6s for around 20,000, and I'm selling them for the 40,000s, or 35 to 45,000. So I'm almost always doubling my investment with a lot of these. The rank 4s aren't as good. I can craft them for about 7,000 to 10,000, and I might sell them for 15 to 20. So I guess I am still doubling, it's just not as much. It's kind of only 5 to 10k at a time instead of 20k at a time. But the trade-off is that I don't sell a ton. So like I said, I'm barely selling, 2 legendaries per day within this past month, while people can honestly sell probably 20 to 30 legendaries within a single day on a high pop. So I am very happy with that profit. I do just want to make sure I include that because people do ask about legendaries. So bringing to our total profit without deep sea or legendaries, so strictly using bags and the crafter's marks gear, which is just the basic stuff, I have made 180,000 gold in the past 30 days. Now, breaking that down in terms of a WoW token, that is about 6,000 gold per day, which is pretty good. I mean, if you have a 300,000 WoW token, so for the EU folks out there, that's about, a little bit over half of a WoW token, just strictly from novice gear and bags. So that is not a bad deal at all. But if we do want to include legendaries as well as the deep sea bags, in the past 30 days, I have made 1.3 million gold profit, and dividing that per day, that's about 43,000 gold per day. So that is super good. I mean, in terms of a WoW token, give it a week and then I can buy one. So 43,000 gold per day is really, really awesome just for this one profession. But of course, it did take a very heavy investment in terms of gold to get here because I had to level my legendaries and stock up materials and all of that. So that's basically it. I mean, without legendaries or anything, you can still be making 6,000 gold per day, 180k, per month strictly on tailoring. Add that onto the alchemy that we talked about. Add that, to the leatherworking we talk about. Easily with those 3 professions, you can make enough gold plus some for a WoW token every single month by simply selling these simple items that you get by leveling that profession up to 100. So I hope this series is interesting for you guys. Let me know how you like it. Let me know how you like these talking videos where it's kind of just text on a screen. I talk, I make sure to show you the visuals on the screen, but there's not much movement or anything like that. Let me know how you like this. Of course, if you enjoy this and it's helpful to you, let me know in the comments. You can like, and also if you loved it, you can subscribe as well. Also, like I say in all videos, make sure you join the Discord if you want to get involved in our community. That is the place where you can ask me questions, you can ask the community questions, and it's just where you can find the most prevalent info as fast as possible. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, have a good day.